night. What time is it in your location?
Well, I'm in India at the moment, and it's early morning over here.
You are in where?
I'm in my home country, India, so it's the morning for me.
Oh, okay. All right. How morning? How early is it?
It's 9:30, half past
Oh,
9.
okay. I think it's not bad then. Around this time.
Yeah, it's like it seems like people are a bit lazy to go out, and they start late.
Hmm. So we have Ardi Adwani. Okay, so what's the plan? You know,
Well,
it's
we'll start with what we call it. Like we'll start with. Sorry, you lead this call. I mean, yeah, that will be good.
no, you are the man in the house, so you do that. Did
No,
you?
that's fine. I mean, but this uh, senior citizen followers. So it's a, the fact is, I was admiring your group because that's given opportunity to everyone. As I was discussing earlier as well. I mean, there are people who can't even afford it, and it's like it's incredible help. I mean, this is what I can say.
Mm. Actually, I didn't really realize that until, later on because um, at first I was just trying to contact anybody to practice with, and I'd been contacting each and every one who is looking for a partner because I wouldn't settle for less. You know what I mean? Like you contact one and then you lost that contact, and oh, my time zone is not this and that. I can't practice. So I just kept contacting until I already had a small group, and I was thinking they all want to speak and practice, and I was thinking like, okay, they need this more than I do. So that's why I had nobody was like trying to take the lead about the group and who's gonna, everybody is just talking and talking. So that's why I stepped in and I said, okay, well, we do this, and that's how it started. And I'm so happy that it turned out to be like this.
Right. That's good. And I mean, that's a good community. I mean, now it has turned down in a community.
Mm-hmm. And I know even if others are done with IELTS, there are still like more and more coming because IELTS is like, it's gonna stay forever.
Yeah, I know, I know.
Mm.
So anyone else is joining us? I don't know. I mean, Aarti was asking like she'll join in a while, but I'm not sure with that lady, to be honest. So let's start
Adwani,
and yeah,
yeah, and
yeah,
then
she's here.
we have Jet Li. Oh, let me in, she said.
Oh, she's waiting in the room.
Oh, so sorry, so sorry. Yeah.
That's okay.
Now we start talking, and I forgot I have to join her in.
Okay.
Good morning, Jetli.
Hi, Jet Li. Welcome.
Hello there. How are you all?
Good, good. You know what? I feel like here I'm more comfortable because I'm not pressured to listen to. I mean, I intended this group as me will participate in the speaking, not like giving just feedback. And so I feel like, okay, I don't know, it's a good feeling to be just uh, want to do what I want to do instead of I have to listen to one who is talking and speaking so that I can write down a note or whatever I want to say to commend and to suggest. So this one is kind of perfect for me.
Well, Rita, I want to I want to suggest something because, as I mentioned, I was speaking with a guy, and it's for everyone.
Mm-hmm.
Because up to 7 bands, I mean, it's very easy. I mean, the way you want to practice, and you can easily achieve it,
Mm-hmm.
unless or until you can express yourself the way you want it. But if you want to go ahead than that, let's say 7.5 and 8 and 8 above, like what happened, there is a follow, you have to follow a pattern. I mean, pattern, and IELTS has a assessment criteria. If you don't fulfill that one, I mean, it's very hard to get it. I mean, this is the best thing I want to discuss about it over here, because I can see everyone is good over here, and everyone is targeting higher. I can see the other group we have in, there are, the various kind of people are in that. Some of them are beginners, some of them are intermediate, and some of them are expert.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, like, when you move 7 and above, because we were discussing, me and Aarti earlier, I mean, she's after general training,
Mm-hmm.
and for Canada, it's, the requirements are really high at the moment. I mean, the more you'll score, you'll get more benefit out of it.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, what I'm trying to say over here, basically for speaking, I'm considering over here, there is a certain criteria we need to follow, and we need to keep it in our mind. And so this is what my suggestion is, because unless we are doing practice on regular basis, if it is not properly planned, that doesn't make any sense, or it will take, loads of time to to practice. I mean, this is what my
Mm-hmm.
view.
Well, I think from what I learned, fluency is very important, and that's really the hardest part to achieve when you are aiming for above 7. And when I said fluency, it includes your structure and less hesitation, and yeah, like just a regular pace when you talk, and that's fluency. And I think for those, it's just hard for those non-natives, of course, to get a higher score because of fluency. But if you can perfectly uh, achieve your grammar, your pronunciation, what else, vocabulary, yeah. So after this, when you are good at the 3, you only have to improve your fluency. Then there's a big chance to get 8 and above. Just that.
Yeah, you are right, and I just want to clarify one more point over here, which is all about framing it.
About what?
Even I, yes. Let me explain that one. I have a friend, and his name is Dave Rowe. He's English, yes. And one day I was doing this in test, and he was beside me, and he said, like, what you're doing at the moment. I told him, like, that's the test, and whenever someone apply for English speaking countries, we have to follow that one. And I was asking, like, can you appear in this test for me? And he did a listening test, and I explained him each and everything, and he scored 24 out of 40, right? And
What is
even
it?
he was struggling in this listening test.
Oh, listening.
Sorry?
Okay. Yeah, listening. All right. Yeah,
Yeah,
24.
yeah. I understand that. Yeah. I understand that that was his first time when he was in this test, but they are expecting us more than that, right? And we are not we are not non-native speakers.
Mm-hmm.
And let me. So it's a hard for everyone. I mean, it's not like if someone is native speaker, he'll master it. It doesn't matter, unless or until you won't do the practice. They're asking you to do it, right? It's hard for everyone. It doesn't matter it's native or non-native speaker. Let me come on to the point where I was mentioning about speaking, right? We practice on regular basis over here, and frame it. Frame. What is frame? I'm calling it like the assessment criteria IELTS do have. Like they ask for idioms, they ask for some, the rare vocabulary, they ask for perfect grammar and fluency and pronunciation. So rather than talking focus on points which are minute but make sense. Uh, so we are not moving for fluency, we are not moving for grammar, we are we are moving for this 15-minute presentation, which should be perfect. Because let me give you an example. There is a lady we were speaking yesterday, Jane, and I was speaking with her on that group as well. She was very good in listening. I mean, her listening score was 9. Even in reading, she scored 8 plus. But her speaking was the concern, and she's a good speaker. And the problem was that she didn't present herself well in these 15 minutes. You know. So this is what I'm trying to say, because the examiner will assess you for only for these 15 minutes. If let's say we are speakers of 7 bands, but we match the criteria, whatever their assessment criteria is for 8 bands, right? For 15 minutes, he'll judge you for 8 bands or above. Doesn't matter where we stand at the moment. So we should look at that assessment criteria. It's same with writing as well, and it's same with speaking. I mean, I hope you got my point.
But you know already the four how do you call? So how they mark? What's the criteria? You know already, right? Fluency, you have grammar, you have pronunciation, you have vocabulary. There are 4 only.
Yep.
You know, right?
Yep.
So in our level with grammar, okay, we make mistakes, maybe slips or whatsoever. And it's likely that when we make mistakes for grammar, we only get 20 instead of 25%. And then for pronunciation, this is also the big part about pronunciation. I don't know, it's okay. Pronunciation includes intonation, connected speech. And if it's hard for the examiner to understand what you're saying, all these 3 categories will be useless, because the examiner cannot mark you with grammar, with vocabulary, because he can't understand what you are saying. And I always mention that our native language would our native language has something that would interfere our English pronunciation. So I think as a tip, that's very important. And I know it's hard to change that over time, the way we talk, the way we mimic the English speakers. So it's just like you need patience to improve and listen to yourself and compare and listen and compare, practice and practice. I think with grammar and vocabulary, you just have to review your grammar. It's very important. We had that in our high school and in our college, maybe the English grammar. But if we are not using that, and even if we are trying to speak English and we have mistakes and we don't try to correct those, then it's hard to improve your grammar. Like when I mentioned about one of my friends. So if you say one of my friend, that's wrong, and the examiner will mark you down with that. So those are it's yeah, I don't know, but with our level, it's expected that we know already those. Otherwise, it would just it would just pull us down when it comes to marking. So I don't know if you are thinking of a system for us to practice, so that we are sure that we are aiming we're aiming for that band score. If you are thinking of, oh, can we do something how to get to that desired band score? Is that, I don't know, do you have any suggestion, or are you asking me if there is something I know what how? uh, but all I can
No,
say
really,
is to
why
keep.
I brought this topic over here? Yeah, because why I brought this topic over here, I want, I mean, everyone, I mean, Aarti scored very well in that one. I didn't get a chance to meet with, Jetli, so I'm not sure about her, but she's good. I mean, so I was bringing this topic because I want to hear your opinion as well. I mean, this is, and that guy from Pakistan, I bring him in a discussion that day.
Mhm.
That guy has scored that one, and he's aiming more, and his. So I was bringing this topic here. That's why. I mean,
Okay, Dave, some of your words I couldn't really understand because you were breaking up. But anyways, yeah, I I kind of understand your concern how we get that band score that we would want. But all I can say is just keep practicing and keep correcting yourself, because even if you keep practicing and you don't correct yourself, it's hard to improve that way. But every time when you listen, and the reason why I keep recording the practice, because for you guys, for others to listen to themselves and say, oh, okay, that one, that word there, I felt like it was weird when I said that. And then you repeat the word, and record yourself maybe. Uh, so that's how you improve. But if you heard yourself and you think like, oh, okay, that's okay, I'm fine, then it's hard. uh, you will stay the same. You wouldn't improve at all no matter what you do. And also with the vocabulary, this is my own experience. I keep reading. You have to read English. Me, I read every day, and different topics and different. I also watch English movies every day, and I'm speaking English every day because my husband is Canadian and my daughter is she's not a Canadian, but she speaks like she's a native too. So I could hardly speak with my daughter in our own language, like the Filipino language. I had to speak to her in English too. And I know if when I didn't really pay attention to my mistakes, I didn't improve at all. I felt like I'm dragging myself down, like, oh, what is this? I live in Canada for a long time and I speak like it's I wasn't really very happy with the way I speak English. So it's just, you will only improve if you keep telling yourself that, okay, this is my mistake and I have to do something about it. Even if you feel like, oh, I sound fine, I'm okay. Yeah, I heard myself. No, I don't know, but in my personality, I'm the person who is like, I won't settle for anything less than perfect. It's sad to say that, because being a perfectionist is not really good. It's a negative thing. That's what I learned when you are a perfectionist. But that's me. But of course, I try to overcome that I always keep telling myself too that we make mistakes. That's okay. And we'll just keep improving, and don't push yourself too hard, uh, to the extent that you don't enjoy your life anymore. So that's why you can hear me, I laugh sometimes, because if I keep thinking of how I improve and why I'm not improving, then I miss out a lot of things. So when you learn, when you in our IELTS, it's good to always be aware of our mistakes and try to improve it. Yeah, so I don't know, we're talking about things. Okay, guys, you want to say something, the other girls?
Yeah, I agree. I agree with the things you told us. So also what Dave told was actually right. I think he want to tell that we being we are not beginners, or maybe he is counting us in what to say, more than intermediate level. So what he is expecting is, I think maybe he want uh, to learn some new words, vocabulary and idioms, whatever the criteria for IELTS exam is. So maybe he is saying that we should learn other things as well. we we all can speak English, and our English is good, but we can improve in from IELTS test point of view, and we can use all these things while speaking in these sessions. I think he mean this.
Yeah, you got my point,
So
Chetli. You got my
yes,
point.
means I think you're saying that we all are speaking every day, but then we are not improving, or we are not learning new things which is required in IELTS test.
Well,
That's
I'm not
what you
saying
mean?
like we are not learning. We are not. I'm not saying like this. You know what happens when there are movies? They're properly scripted. And we have to
Yeah.
script our, the 15 minutes. I mean, this is what I'm trying to say. We have to script it
Right.
well and script
Yeah.
it for 8 and higher. I mean, this is what I'm trying to say. I'm not saying like we are not learning anything. Of course we are. But
Of course, yeah.
the way will go in that way, I mean, it will take a long time. So we have to just focus on only of these 15 minutes, and we have to mediums in that one. We have to make some, some good words in that one. I mean, this is what I'm trying to say. I mean, don't take me wrong. We all are learning. I mean, this is what I'm trying to say. But we have to prepare only well for these 15 minutes. It's just like writing a script for a movie.
I got your point. We are just practicing what we have with us. We are not focusing on other things which are required in IELTS. For example, all those points which are required in the IELTS test, like vocabulary, usage of the idioms and other well-known expressions. To enhance your score. So maybe we can use them while speaking in these sessions. So that's how we can gain more.
Okay, yeah. So what I'm doing actually for my own personal improvement, when I watch movies, I wrote down all those expressions that's like not simple expressions. It includes idioms and other expressions. Like I learned something, and I heard this about maybe 3 times, 5 times now in a movie, that people would say, "Oh, you look so tiffy," and I was thinking, what is tiffy? And then I looked it up, and it looks, that means like you dressed up well, you look glamorous, and things like that, you look good. So I'm thinking that I think you want us to focus on improving our, for example, when we speak from part 1, part 2, part 3, how we say things and how we use those words. So I'm thinking, when I'm trying to write down all this vocabulary that I learned, that we take it from our reading, from our watching movies, and then when we are together here, we can use them here.
Right. agree.
Yeah, so this is our platform to use them, but and then if, for example, one is saying this word and nobody understands, only, for example, if I say, oh, you look tiffy, or I look tiffy, and you say, oh, what is tiffy? So you just have to ask that person that, okay, what is tiffy? And the person can explain. So we share our vocabulary in that, in that way.
Mm.
So if that's what you want to learn idioms, there are a lot of materials where we can learn idioms from. Like, for example, all of us, we are in Mr. Keith's group, and he also talks about idioms and teach them. So we can get those, and then we have those, and then we talk about those here, or like directly use them in our questions, answering the questions.
Right.
And
I don't know whether I don't know whether there's a certain criteria for what we are talking about is the criteria which is followed in the IELTS test. But I don't know, like it was my first time. I don't have that good experience of IELTS test, but yes, some, because I have already appeared. Then I noticed in my case, I didn't use any idioms or any special vocabulary. I used, but not the idioms. Yes, vocabulary was okay.
mhm,
So what I noticed is examiner just check for the fluency, how easily your expression is coming out of you, and how easily you are talking to the examiner. I think examiner just look for that. For the people who struggle while speaking, and they are thinking for the vocabulary or the idioms and other special thing to impress. I don't think that impress or that works actually in this case. Yes, if you are using all these things, all these points, all these the things which are required in your day-to-day life, then it makes sense. Then actually it is worth using all these things while speaking. But in my case, I didn't use any special things. I swear, like
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, to
I
be
don't know. I was talking, but yes, I was very happy and I was very comfortable while speaking to the examiner. And then after giving the test, I was confident for 7 and above. Means I was expecting 7.5, but I don't know. I got 8. So everybody was saying. In fact, my husband just appeared first time when he got his IELTS test first time. He got 8 overall. So he's a very good English speaker.
Okay.
He doesn't use any special vocabulary, and he said he didn't use any special words or things. But yes, he is a good speaker. So I got 2 examples. From my side, I have 2 examples, like from me and my husband, like, and we didn't use any special things.
Yeah.
But yes, we listened to the Keith Academy and the videos there. So I don't know what is the criteria actually, but this is how it all went with me. So
To be honest,
maybe
you can,
like if you are confident in speaking, whatever you're speaking confidently, and you are giving the right answer. Like if I talk about yesterday was the example, Aarti asked me something and I was totally distracted from the question, and I was just talking about the pre-things which happened before the conversation. She asked me for the conversation I had with my friend.
Mm-hmm.
but I didn't come to that point.
Mm-hmm.
So that actually the thing, if you talk fluently and in the right manner,
Mm-hmm.
and to the question, right answer to the question. So
Yeah, I think,
that,
to be honest,
I don't know.
you can even get a band 9 in speaking without using idioms. The most important thing is
Maybe
are
yes.
the words
If I'm
you
if I'm
speak
confident
naturally.
in using, if I'm not confident in daily things, I never use it with my husband. We speak in Hindi only at home.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes if we are outside, then we speak in English, and we just speak normally. And
Yeah.
in my office also, I speak I use very normal language.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if I have to improve, then definitely I have to give. I have to devote some time daily. I have to
Mm-hmm.
practice. I have to practice religiously. I have to follow those rules every day. Then
Yeah.
only I can earn more.
Yeah, and the most important thing, you have to speak those idioms every day too. Like, include them
Right,
in
right,
your
right.
language every day. Because if you are just, it's just in your head, and then you are just using it during the exam, then you won't sound natural, and the examiner will just kind of like, okay, whatever. You won't get a good mark for your idioms, even if you use
Correct.
idioms. Yeah. So you have to be
Especially
natural.
if you don't,
Yeah.
sorry, if you don't practice all these, if you want to use any words and you are not used in practice in mock-up test, it doesn't come that same day. I have noticed that one. I mean, I learned so many things and things, but at the time there is extra pressure, of course, when you know, like, you being the judge, you are here for, they'll judge you, but you can't use it because there is extra pressure on you on the test. Hello?
Right. Yeah.
Lost you. Sorry.
Yeah, your voice is breaking up. But yeah, it's good that we discussed this. That's why I wanted like an exclusive, just an exclusive group for those who are really, who, I don't know, I found Dave as, very serious about IELTS, and he's got a goal. I don't, even if I don't know what goal is that, but I can tell that you have a goal. Well, every one of us maybe, but it's, I can tell you especially is you're very diligent and always wanna do something, wanna get better. So that's why I felt like, okay, let's do an exclusive group so that we can talk about things and how we can, like the brainstorming type of thing. We can talk about what we can suggest, and what we can, how to do things to improve. What about, are you thinking of like trying to practice on your own and record yourself? Who does that? Like, from the three of you, I do that. I practice on my own.
I did it. I did it before my test. I have many recordings,
Oh,
and I
okay,
used
okay.
to listen to it every day.
Oh, that's
And
good.
the good answer means I asked a question, and then I answer,
Mm-hmm.
and I answer first time. I answered second time for to see to check my fluency, and then third time, whichever recording is best, I save it.
Mm-hmm.
And I did it with many of the questions which usually comes.
Mm-hmm.
So and I used to listen to those recordings every second day,
Mm-hmm.
while doing anything, while doing any work.
Mm-hmm.
So it helped me. It helped me.
Yeah, I
Actually.
I feel that it makes.
I learned the idioms also, but
Mhm.
I couldn't use it in the test.
In a
As I
natural
said
way.
that I'm
Yeah.
not comfortable while using.
Yes,
So
because
I
if
use the things which I'm comfortable.
because
I was
if you don't
comfortable.
feel like it's needed in that question, you don't just like put that like a shoehorn, like slip that there when it's not even necessary to say those things. Like I learned an idiom like that's how the cookie crumbles. uh, so it means like that's life. Eh, you won't answer a question from the examiner, answer something, and then you just insert that, oh, that's how the cookie crumbles if it's not needed there. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah, yes, right. Agree. Yeah.
Basically, ma'am, what I think is when unless we are comfortable using idioms, we shouldn't be using it. Otherwise, it will be a disaster to our overall score. And in spite of what we have desired, we'll end up scoring less. So better when we are well versed with the topic, or when we are well versed how to use an idiom, then only we should use it.
Yeah, you're right. That's what I also learned, and it makes sense because if you are not a user of that idiom and you just use it there to impress, it wouldn't sound natural and you sound horrible. And when you sound like that, the examiner is like, okay, I give you 9. So it's just but like I said, when we practice on our own, we can use those. If there's a question that we think like, oh, okay, in this question maybe I can use this expression. That's how the cookie crumbles, and you keep practicing saying that until it becomes natural. Until it becomes, like I always say about muscle memory, when you're playing an instrument, you don't even think of playing anymore. You just, or think of what for example, guitar, you don't think of playing C minor or F or G. You are just playing, and it's because of muscle memory. You are used to uh, play those chords, and it's the same thing with words that come out of our mouth. If we are using those words naturally, then we don't even have to think that, oh, okay, I'm gonna use this word. It will just come out naturally. Oh, there's something, Dave. We are finished in okay, 1 minute. You remember when we talked about yesterday about I feel light? And I was thinking about it, and I
Yep.
think it also means like, the expression, she's a breath of fresh air. You describe a person, oh, she's a breath of fresh air. That means she's easy to be with, or you feel relieved when you have some kind of, you are heavy at heart, you mentioned that too. And then you are with this person and you feel good, you feel, So I was thinking about breath of fresh air because that's the expression that I always hear on movies or hear in with my friends when I talk to them. Oh, so it's a breath of fresh air. Have you heard that expression, guys?
I think I have. I heard it in English. This thing, cereal.
Yeah. So I think that's
I
kind
think
of
I
like
heard.
same meaning when you said about I feel light. Um, I don't know if you agree with
Yeah.
that. So I think we are done with a Zoom soon, and I'll have my Zoom also with others, my regular one. So what's the plan?
Well, we are also your regular ones, so we'll join with the
Okay.
Yes, we are included in that.
Okay, we'll do that. And you know what? Oh,
Don't
this is
exclude
also,
us.
this is a tip, Dave, because you regularly host. Oh boy, it's done. All right. Okay, now I have to also turn this off.